Portland is continuing to add to their group of centers this season. In July, they re-signed Ibo Baji to a two-way contract. In August, they signed Moses Brown as a free agent. And then now, Duop Reath, who is the topic of this video, he is on the Trailblazers radar as well. Real quick, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll always be making videos on current NBA news and rumors, so if you want to stay in the loop, then be sure to subscribe. But Reath played for 2 years at LSU, and then he tried his hand at the NBA, and he ended up going undrafted. But the good thing he did was that he continued to play for other leagues, and this is something that I wish a lot of players would do if they don't immediately get selected for the NBA. Because it's going to be very competitive, and unless you're very skilled, you're not going to be picked right out of college, but that doesn't mean you can't make it to the league. You know, all you have to do is just get better. And what Reath did was he played for other leagues internationally, and then now, you know, he might get a chance at the NBA, and I think he deserves it. Coming out of LSU, he played in Serbia for 3 years, and then after that, he played in Australia for 1 year. He played for the Illawarra Hawks, and then this most recent year, he played in China for a year for the Qingdao Eagles. This past year, actually, he averaged 18 points, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, and 2 blocks per game. I know that the competition in China isn't up to par as it is in the NBA, but still, you know, you're getting to have your daily workouts in, your conditioning, you have coaches that are still going to try to get you to be better, and you get to play against decently skilled opponents. And overall, this just helps you get better as a player. And this is exactly what Reath has been doing up to this point. He also grew up in Australia, and this makes him eligible to play for them in these World Cup events, so Olympics, FIBA World Cup, stuff like that. And he actually competed with them in this most recent FIBA World Cup, and he averaged over 8 points a game. And again, that's not astounding by any means, but keep in mind that out of college, he didn't get selected for the NBA. But even then, he has played for his country in the World Cups, he's played for multiple leagues internationally, and this really helps pad his resume. You know, it makes him a better candidate for when the NBA is ready for him. It makes him just a better selection overall. And so, 8.6 points, again, not amazing, but in my opinion, it's pretty impressive. Another thing that he's been doing every year up to this point is he plays for the Summer League in the NBA. This past year, he played for Portland, and he averaged 13 points, 7 rebounds, and over 1 block a game. And I think this makes him worthy of, if he makes it to the NBA, then I think right now he would be a pretty decent backup. And this isn't me, you know, discrediting him that he won't be a starter one day. But having all this international experience and then continuously playing in the G League, you know, I think a backup roster spot for him is totally worthy. I think it's well deserved, actually. And something else to consider is that if he's excelling at these international leagues and if he's doing pretty decent in summer leagues, then I wonder if he has thought about playing in the G League. I know there's pros and cons for playing internationally versus the G League, the first of which is obviously money. You know, G League players don't make that much at all, and I don't think international players make a great amount either, but they probably make more than G League players do, and so maybe money is an aspect too. Also, internationally, you get to play against tougher opponents. Usually these guys are older. They've been playing for these international teams for, you know, 8, 9 plus years. And so you're playing against veteran guys internationally. Whereas in the G League, you know, it's mainly younger players. It's mainly players out of college or players that haven't been selected for the NBA yet. And usually it's players that don't have that much experience under their belt up to that point. So pros and cons definitely exist. But in my opinion, playing in the G League gives you so much more direct exposure to NBA teams and NBA scouts. You know, NBA teams will literally come out there to try to scout players, and they're not only scouting for the players playing for their team. You know, if a scout comes out from the Miami Heat, for example, and they're playing the Lakers G League, that scout is looking at both teams. He's looking at any standout player for any team because they want to make a list of, who can we possibly grab if we happen to have an open roster spot. And the players in G League get that first visibility, and I think that would help them out a lot. And so I just wonder if Reath has thought about the G League, because I think it definitely would help him. But again, right now he's on the Trailblazers radar, and I have to wish him well. I like to see a player succeed, and I love to see an underdog make it in the NBA. And so the fact that he's been trying his hand over and over, he stuck it out in Serbia for 3 years. That alone is impressive. So I wish him well. I hope things go well for him. I know that he's listed as a center, and he's 6'9", and this might make him a little bit undersized in the NBA. But again, that doesn't mean it's not possible. He could just use his size to his advantage. If he developed his shooting a little bit more, if he got, if his handles are really good or something, then he could be better than a center that's 6'10". So, there's a lot of upside to this as well, and I just think there's a lot of possibility here. And so, I'll be keeping an eye out to see where his story leads. I'll see if Portland does plan on signing him, and if they do, then I'll be sure to make an update video on it as well. If you have any thoughts on this, if you have any thoughts on Portland as a team, especially with all this Damian Lillard drama going on, leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts for them this season. Where do you think they're headed? Do you think they're making the right moves roster-wise, signing all these players that they have been? And overall, I just can't wait for the season to start. And so I'll be here making videos, but that's all I have for today, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.